Moses stood outside the tent, and he did not know the way forward. Behind him was a nation of people who had watched him disappear up a mountain and come back down with stone tablets and a burning face. Ahead of him was a stretch of wilderness that led to a land none of them had ever seen. And somewhere in between, Moses had a question he could not stop asking. Who is going to go with us? God had already promised the land. He had already promised the people would get there. An angel would go ahead of them, clearing the way. But Moses wanted more than a promise about the destination. He wanted to know if God himself would walk the road. So he said something that sounds almost bold, coming from a man leading over 1 million people into the unknown. If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here. Not the land, not the promise, not even the miracle. Moses would rather stay in the wilderness with God than walk into the promised country without him. You may have woken up this morning already thinking about the road ahead of you. Maybe you don't know exactly what the day holds. A conversation you're not ready for. A decision that keeps circling back around. People counting on you before you've even had your coffee. And somewhere underneath all of it, a quiet question that sounds a lot like Moses standing outside that tent. Is anyone going with me today? That question is not weakness, it's honesty. And it's the same honesty that opens the door to the very thing your heart is asking for this morning. Here is what makes this moment in Exodus so striking. Moses wasn't a stranger to God. Scripture says the Lord spoke to him face to face, the way a person speaks with a friend. He had already seen a burning bush that didn't burn up. He had already watched a sea split in two. He had already eaten bread that fell from the sky. And still, none of that experience made him feel ready to walk into a future he couldn't see. Knowing God's power in the past didn't erase his need for God's presence in what came next. That's worth sitting with for a second, because so many of us think the goal is to reach a point where uncertainty stops bothering us, where we've prayed enough or grown enough or seen enough answered prayers that mornings like this one stop feeling heavy. But Moses had seen more of God's power than almost anyone in history, and he still stood at the edge of the unknown and said, I need you to come with me. Maturity in faith isn't the absence of that need. It's learning to bring it honestly to God instead of pretending it isn't there. You woke up this morning already carrying something. Maybe it's a meeting you can't predict the outcome of. Maybe it's a phone that might ring with news you're not ready for. Maybe it's simply the ordinary weight of responsibilities stacked one on top of another. Work and family, and unfinished conversations. None of them dramatic on their own, but heavy together before your feet have even hit the floor. You don't know how today is going to unfold, and some part of you wishes you did. That wish is not a flaw in your faith. It's what makes you human. God did not scold Moses for wanting reassurance. He answered him, My presence will go with you, he said, and I will give you rest. Notice what God offered. Not a map, not a forecast of every danger and difficulty waiting on the road, just himself. And somehow, that was enough to change everything for Moses. He didn't need to know what was coming. He needed to know who was coming with him. That's the truth this morning is built on. You do not need to know everything this day will bring if you know God will be with you as you walk through it. Say that slowly to yourself for a moment, because it's easy to hear it and nod and still walk out the door carrying the same tight grip on every outcome. The truth isn't meant to just be understood. It's meant to change how you carry today. Think about how much of your morning pressure comes from trying to know things you were never meant to know yet. What will she say when you finally have that conversation? Whether numbers. Whether the numbers will work out. Whether the decision you're about to make is the right one. Your mind runs ahead of your feet, trying to solve problems that haven't happened yet, trying to prepare for outcomes it can't actually predict. And by the time you've finished getting ready, you're already tired, and the day hasn't even started. This is where Proverbs offers something that lands differently. Once you've stood where Moses stood, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. That word trust doesn't mean stop thinking. It doesn't mean stop planning your day or preparing for your meeting or thinking carefully about a hard conversation. Trust means you stop treating your own understanding as the only thing holding your day together. It means you walk forward acknowledging him in the decisions ahead of you, instead of white-knuckling your way through them alone. There's a real difference between preparing for your day and trying to control it. Preparation looks at what's in front of you and takes the next responsible step. Control tries to secure every outcome in advance so nothing can surprise you. Preparation is wise. Control is exhausting because it's chasing something that was never possible to hold on to in the first place. You cannot control how someone else will respond to you today. You cannot control whether the plan changes. You cannot control the outcome of a decision that's still hours away. But you can prepare honestly, step by step, and then release your grip on what happens next. That release is not giving up. It's what Moses did. He didn't stop planning the journey. He didn't stop leading the people. He simply refused to take a single step without God's presence going with him. Trust and responsibility were never opposites for him. They walked side by side. Psalm 143 carries this same posture into the quiet of the early morning. Let me hear your steadfast love in the morning, for in you I trust. Make me know the way I should go, for to you I lift up my soul. Notice the timing. Not at noon, when the day is already half over and half decided. Not at night, when looking back is easier than looking forward. In the morning, before the details, before the noise, before you know how any of it will go, that's exactly where you are right now. And that's exactly where this kind of prayer belongs. There's something worth naming honestly here, because uncertainty rarely stays simple. Sometimes it isn't just about not knowing what will happen. Sometimes it's tangled up with the fear of letting someone down, a parent who's counting on you, a coworker who's depending on your part of the project, a child who needs you steady even when you don't feel steady inside. Carrying responsibility for other people adds a different kind of weight to not knowing what the day holds, because it isn't only your own uncertainty you're managing. It's the possibility that your uncertainty might affect someone you love. God's presence going with you doesn't erase that responsibility. It changes what you're carrying it with. Moses wasn't just responsible for himself. He was responsible for an entire nation walking into unfamiliar territory, trusting him to lead them well. That's part of why his request wasn't casual. He knew what it would cost the people if he tried to lead them without God. His plea wasn't only for his own comfort. It was for everyone who depended on him. You may be facing something similar this morning, some version of leading others through a day you can't fully see the shape of yet. A decision at work that affects your team, a conversation with your child that will shape how they feel later tonight, a choice about money that touches your whole household. The pressure to get it right can feel enormous when other people are standing behind you the way Israel stood behind Moses. Here's the mercy. In this passage, God didn't ask Moses to guarantee a perfect outcome for everyone. He asked him to walk forward with his presence and trust him for what came next. That's still the invitation this morning. You are not required to guarantee the results of today. You are invited to walk into it with God, doing what's yours to do and trusting him with what isn't. Something else is worth saying honestly, because mornings rarely wait for you to feel ready. Plans change. Something you expected doesn't happen the way you thought it would. A schedule shifts. A conversation goes sideways. An answer you were waiting for doesn't come when you thought it would. And in that moment, the temptation is to feel like the ground has shifted under your faith, like something has gone wrong that shouldn't have. But trust was never meant to depend on things going according to your expectations. Moses didn't know exactly what waited on the road ahead. Neither do you. The promise was never that nothing unexpected would happen. The promise was that God's presence would go with him through whatever did happen. That's still true for you this morning, even for the parts of today you can't picture yet. There's a particular kind of grace worth remembering when a plan shifts unexpectedly. It's easy to treat a sudden change as proof that you weren't prepared enough or that you should have seen it coming. But some things simply cannot be anticipated, no matter how carefully you plan. Wisdom prepares for what's foreseeable. It was never meant to predict everything. When something catches you off guard today, that's not a failure of your faith. It's simply what it looks like to live in a day you don't fully control, walking it with a God who does. The same is true if you find yourself making a mistake somewhere in the hours ahead. A word you wish you hadn't said, a decision you second-guess the moment it's made. Trusting God's presence doesn't mean you'll move through today without a single misstep. It means you don't have to carry that misstep alone, and you don't have to let it convince you that you've wandered outside of his care. Moses himself made mistakes leading this same people more than once. God's presence never depended on his perfection. It depends on God's faithfulness, not yours. This truth also reaches into the ordinary friction of speech and reaction. the small moments that make up so much of an actual day. The tone you use when you're frustrated, the way you respond when someone interrupts your plans, or your patience. Trusting God with your day includes trusting Him with your responses inside it. Asking for the kind of steadiness that doesn't depend on everything going smoothly first. And it reaches into the parts of today that involve simply waiting. Waiting for someone to answer a message. Waiting for test results. For a decision. For news you have no control over the timing of. Waiting is one of the hardest places to trust because it feels like nothing is happening, like your prayer isn't being answered yet. But waiting with God's presence is different from waiting alone. One is empty time. The other is time spent walking with someone, even when the road looks the same in every direction. All of this is why Moses' request still matters this many centuries later. He wasn't asking for a smoother road. He was asking for company on the road he already had to walk. That's the same thing being offered to you this morning, in the middle of whatever today actually holds, whether it goes the way you expect or nothing like it at all. Before we move into prayer together, if mornings like this one help you begin your day with a little more peace, go ahead and subscribe to Sacred Quiet so you don't miss the next one. And if there's something specific weighing on your heart today, leave it in the comments so others can be praying with you. Now let's bring all of this before God together, the way Moses did, honestly, and without pretending we already have it figured out. Lord, I'm not going to pretend I know what today holds. I don't know how this conversation will go. I don't know if this decision is the right one. I don't know what's waiting in my inbox or on the other end of that phone call I've been putting off. And this morning, before I try to figure it all out on my own, I just want to be honest with you about that. I feel the weight of it already, even this early. The responsibilities that are mine to carry today. The people who are counting on me to show up steady, even when I don't feel steady. The decisions that can't wait much longer. I don't want to walk into any of it without you. So like Moses, standing outside that tent, I'm asking you plainly, let your presence go with me today. Not just your promises about how things might turn out, not just the outcomes I'm hoping for. You, because if I have to choose between a day that goes exactly the way I want it to, and a day where I know you're with me, I want you. I need you more than I need to know how this ends. I confess that so much of my morning pressure comes from trying to hold things I was never meant to hold. I've been turning problems over in my mind that haven't even happened yet, rehearsing conversations, predicting outcomes, trying to prepare for every possible way today could go wrong. And all that has done is make me tired before I've even started. Forgive me for treating my own understanding like it has to carry the whole weight of this day. Teach me to trust you instead of leaning so hard on what I think I already know. Help me see the difference between preparing well and trying to control everything. I want to walk into today ready, thoughtful, doing what's mine to do, but I don't want to carry the exhausting weight of trying to secure every outcome in advance. That was never mine to carry. Let me do the next right thing in front of me and leave the rest in your hands. the way Moses kept walking without knowing the whole road ahead. There's a decision in front of me today that I haven't fully settled in my mind. You know exactly which one I mean. Give me wisdom for it. Not just information, but the kind of clarity that comes from walking closely with you. Quiet the part of me that wants to overthink this into the ground and give me the peace to trust the direction you're leading. Even if I can't see every step past it yet, I think about the people who are depending on me today. And honestly, that's part of what makes this morning feel heavy. I don't want to let them down. I don't want to get this wrong in a way that affects the people I love. But I remember that Moses carried an entire nation's future and still didn't have to do it without you. So I bring my responsibilities to you now, the ones at work, the ones at home, the ones I feel most afraid of failing at. Help me lead well, love well, and show up faithfully, trusting you with the parts of the outcome that were never mine to control anyway. If my plans shift today, and I have a feeling some of them will, help me not to panic like something has gone wrong. Let me remember that you were never surprised by the change, even when I am. Give me the flexibility to adjust without losing my peace, and the humility to trust that you can work through an interruption just as much as through a plan that goes exactly as I imagined. And if I make a mistake today, Lord, catch me gently. Don't let shame be the thing that convinces me I've wandered away from you. Let me course correct with humility instead of spiraling into fear. You already knew this day wouldn't be perfect. Your presence was never conditioned on my perfection. Remind me of that the moment I need it most. Watch over my words today. When I'm frustrated, help me pause before I speak. When someone catches me off guard, give me a steadiness that doesn't come from having everything figured out, but from knowing you're with me in that exact moment. Let my reactions today reflect a person who's actually walking with you, not just someone who prayed about it this morning and then forgot by 9 o'clock. For whatever I'm waiting on right now, the message that hasn't come, the answer I haven't received, the outcome that's still unclear, give me patience that isn't just gritted teeth, but real trust that you're not absent in the waiting. Let me feel your presence in the space between the question and the answer. Instead of only looking for you once, the answer finally arrives. I bring my family before you this morning, the people whose day is somehow tied up with mine. Watch over the ones I love as they walk through their own version of today, their own uncertainties, their own pressures I can't always see. Let your presence go with each of them the same way I'm asking it to go with me. I bring my work before you too. The tasks waiting on my desk, the responsibilities I carry there, whatever meetings, decisions, or conversations are part of today. Let me do that work with integrity, without letting fear of getting it wrong steal the peace you're offering me right now. Give me competence where I need it, wisdom where I'm unsure, and patience with myself where I fall short. If there's a conversation today I've been avoiding, or one I know is coming whether I'm ready or not, go before me into that too. Give me the right words, and just as much, give me the wisdom to know silence is wiser than speech. Soften what needs to be soft in me and strengthen what needs to be strong, so I can walk into it honestly instead of anxiously. Lord, teach me the difference between wisdom and the kind of overthinking that just wears me down without actually helping me. Wisdom looks at what I know and makes a decision. Overthinking keeps circling the same fears without ever landing anywhere. I don't want to spend today spinning. I want to walk it, one honest step after another, trusting you with what's still unclear. I think about Moses again, standing there and saying he'd rather stay in the wilderness with God's presence than move forward without it. I want that same conviction this morning. I'd rather face an uncertain day with you than a predictable one without you. Help that be true in more than just word. Let it shape how I actually walk out this door in a few minutes. Thank you that your steadfast love meets me in the morning before I've earned anything today, before I've proven myself capable of handling what's ahead. I haven't done a single thing yet, and still, you're here. That's not something I deserve. It's something you freely give, and I don't want to take it for granted. Make me know the way I should go today, not because I have to see the whole road at once, but because you're walking it with me, one step at a time. I lift up more than just my requests to you this morning. I lift up myself, my thoughts, my fears, my hurried mind, and I ask you to settle it here before I even leave this quiet moment. As the morning turns into the busier hours ahead, let this stay with me. When pressure rises around lunchtime and I've forgotten how peaceful this moment felt, remind me that you're still with me then too. When the afternoon brings something I didn't expect, let me remember this prayer instead of reaching first for panic. When evening comes and I'm tired and replaying the day in my mind, let me feel your presence there just as much as I feel it right now, in the quiet, before anything has even happened yet. I don't know everything today will bring. I still don't, even after praying all of this. But that's all right, because knowing isn't what I actually need. I need you, and you've already promised to go with me. So I walk into this day uncertain about the details, but certain about the presence that goes with me through all of them. Whatever waits out there beyond this quiet room, I don't have to face it alone, and neither do the people I love. Thank you for meeting me here this morning. Thank you for going ahead of me into a day I couldn't see the shape of until I brought it to you. I release my grip on needing to know how it all turns out, and I hold on to you instead. In Jesus' name, amen.